We are in the end of a 7-year cycle of sevens. That 7 times 7 is 49, if I remember correctly. And that makes it into the 49, into the 50th year, which is the year of Jubilee. All right, 7 cycles ago was 1972-73.
That's right.
That cycle.
That was a Shemitah cycle. And Shemitahs often deal with the economic side of a country or of a city. And in the first of this first cycle in 1972, 1973, what happened during that Shemitah year? It was a crash and an economic recession.
The second one, 7 years later, the second Shemitah, 1979 to 1980. What happened?
We experienced a severe recession and unemployment at its highest level since the Great Depression.
What?
In a Shemitah year.
So that is desperate. What happens 7 years later?
Yes, the third one, in 1986 and 1987, the greatest stock market percentage crash to date was, up until that point, which was referred to as Black Monday, happened during the Shemitah year.
I remember that.
Then the fourth one, the Shemitah year of 1993, 1994, something very interesting happened. They called it the Shoemaker Levy, where this comet bashed Jupiter, went into 21 fragments. 21 is a multiple of 7. So they're saying, look for the next 3 Shemitah cycles. 3 is the number of completion, because they're going to be very, very prophetic. So let's move on to the next one. The 5th Shemitah.
Yeah, but here's Levy 9, judgment.
9 is judgment.
The 21 fragments, as you said, 3 times 7 is 21. So there's 3 sevens. So we have 3 sevens left. But there was so much more, but let's go on the 5th one now.
The 5th one of 2000 and 2001. It's the bursting of the dot-com bubble. 49% of the total stock market lost its value over 1 year. Now, this is very, very important.
Yeah, that was the 9/11 attack, right?
Yes.
But that was when the stock market opened up a few days after 9/11.
That's right. And so on September 17th, which in the Jewish calendar is Elul, the month of Elul, 29, which is the very last day of the year. It was the very last day of the Shemitah year cycle. This is what happened. It was actually a 684-point drop crash, which was the largest up into that time. Then if you go 7 years later to the year, to the month, to the week, to the day, to the minute later, in 2007, on 2008, on Elul 29, the climax of the Shemitah, the stock market collapsed. In a single day, it dropped 7%, dropping 777 points. And this happened on the climax of the Shemitah. So,
But it also, that was Elul 29, right?
Yes. That was also Elul 29.
That's the Jewish calendar date, people. That's God's dates. Those are the dates that don't change. So that is Elul 29. So now we've got 1, 2 in a row of the Elul 29, which is a judgment day. It's a really an awesome day. And here we have the worst crash, 2 of them now in history, one right after another, 7 years apart to the day. So this Shemitah year is not something you can say, well, Rabbi just made this up, or, you know, economists have been studying this and wondering why every 7 years there's a crash. And so these 2 unbelievable crashes took place. All right, let's go on.
Yes, and I just want to reiterate that point. How incredible is that? Secular economists have studied the 7-year cycle. So, when is the next Elul 29, the last day? We're already in the Shemitah year. The last day, the climax of the Shemitah year, is in 2015, and it's on September 13th.
Now, it's already begun.
That's right.
It began the day the calf was born, or the calf was born the day that the Jewish New Year and the Shemitah year began.
Yes.
But now this Shemitah year ends on what date?
On September 13th of 2015.
2015, which just also, I understand, is Elul 29.
Yes.
And so,
And there's...
what? The exact date? The exact date of every crash for the last several crashes? And they're all on the Shemitah year, every one of them, every 7 years for the last 50 years. And the warning of God is that this is going to be the judgment on America.
And you simply, this is how God works. We're just tapping into the systems of God. This universe, God's universe, He created everything in this universe.
Yes.
So if you imagine, I often think about your pocket watch, Pastor Jim, how you can open it up and you can see through the entire thing. You see all these little intricate pieces connecting, and one thing spins this, and the other thing spins this, and it ends up working all together. That's how God works in this universe.